Beer Forst beat out Beer Moretti. I mean, lost to Beer Moretti, but Beer Forst was a stronger tasting beer. Jester King from Austin, Texas, lost to Steigl from Austria. This was a stronger tasting beer. Now, Pabst Blue Ribbon beat out Beer Moretti and Steigl, I should say. So, hypothetically, it would be safe to assume that Pabst Blue Ribbon will beat out these two beers, because these are all stronger than the other two that appeared in recent contests. Now, I forgot to mark the bottoms of the glasses, so I'm not going to be able to do this blindfold, and I just hope the bias doesn't come into play. Well, let's get to it. Well, let me describe. Well, let's see. Let me just taste it. Beer Forst. Beer Forst. I have some notes. It has an aroma. Maybe from the green bottle, some skunkiness beginning to set in. But the ranking of this, and where does the ranking come from? Well, I just asked ChatGPT to give me ranks of these three beers. So it ranked this one a 3.5 out of 5. It's good. There's some slight skunk to it, very, very mild skunk. Got a 4.8% ABV, and the IBUs between 18 and 20. So the hop flavor, let's see. How do they describe it? Light, floral, and grassy. That's interesting, because I would not really think about using those terms to describe it. Although I'm not sure which terms I would use. But floral, that means flowery, tasting. Well, I mean, do all flowers taste the same? Does a rose taste the same as a tulip? Probably similar, but I don't know. Grassy. And of course, we can imagine what grass tastes like, but I've never tasted it. Those are the hop flavors. The malt flavors, light, bready, and grainy. I can see some breadiness in there. Graininess. Finish, clean, crisp, clean, and slightly dry. Oh yeah, this is not very dry finish. Frankly, it's pretty good. It's light-bodied and smooth. Okay. Now, Jester King Pilsner. Jester King, I didn't know where this came from before, other than Texas. But apparently it comes from Austin. And it's the highest rated beer among these three. It's 3.8 out of 5. It's 5.4% ABV and 30 to 40 on the IBUs. So it's the most bitter of these three beers here. Now, the hop flavor, floral, herbal, and earthy. Well, again, there's that word floral. And herbal, the other one isn't described as herbal, or earthy. The aroma is very faint, almost non-detectable. But there's some citrusiness to the hops as well. Earthy? To me, earthy means like dirt. It doesn't taste like dirt. Well, let me see if I can get a dirt-like taste in here. Although I'm not really sure what dirt tastes like either. I don't think I've tasted that since I was a kid. Okay, the malt flavor is biscuit-like and crisp. Well, it is crisp. I think I used the term lemongrass on this before, because due to the popularity of IPAs in the last 20 years or so, people started making their lagers more hoppier and citrusy, because evidently that's the kind of flavor that people liked, at least in the US. So what about the finish? Clean, slightly dry, and balanced. Does have a bitter finish. The feel is medium-bodied and effervescent. I'm not sure what effervescent means other than having some carbonation to it. So, yeah, it's interesting. I think I like Forst better than Jester King because this is too citrusy. It's too lemongrassy for me. This one was pretty good. All right, now, Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's rated, let's say, it's rated 2.5 to 3.0. So let's just take the halfway point of that, 2.75, which is the lowest rated beer among these three. And it's got an ABV of 4.74%, which is the lowest alcohol content of these three beers. It's got a IBU of 10 to 18%, which is the lowest bitterness, but very close to this one. So the hop flavor is very mild and slightly floral. So in other words, it's not very hoppy. And I guess I can see that because it's smooth going in, it's malty, the sweet malt going in. The malt flavor is light and slightly cereal-like. Cereal-like. That's interesting. I wonder what kind of cereal it would be. Definitely not Count Chocula. Maybe more like Corn Flakes. I don't know. So the finish is crisp and mild sweetness. It is crisp, mild, and slightly sweet. So, I don't know. The sweet maltiness here isn't balanced out as much by hops. There needs to be some more bitterness in here, but it's good if you like sweet things, and maybe that's why it's a good popular beer. I said before that I liked it, but that's because it was the sweetness that I got that got to me. But now that I know it's sweet, I don't really it doesn't really appeal to me, the sweetness. I want a little bit more bitterness in my beer, but that's a conscious decision and not necessarily a subconscious one, because when I was trying this before, I wasn't thinking about it. I just thought, well, this is good, but now I know, well, it's good because it was sweet. And although I try to avoid sweet things and sugar, it doesn't mean I don't like the taste of it. I just want to avoid sweet things, and I don't want to eat sugar. Now, let's see how this Pabst compares to this. Definitely. This one's got some malty sweetness from the malts as well, but slightly more of a bitterness to balance it out, just very slightly. And the terms I used to describe, or that ChatGPT used to describe it, floral and grassy. I don't know. I'm trying to imagine what a flower or a floral taste is like. Yeah, I got to go with Forst on this one. If I had done this blindfolded, I might have chosen the Pabst. I don't know. But frankly, I just like the slightly more bitterness to it that this one has. I mean, it's just a tick, a hair more bitter, but it's just a tad bit more flavorful. Now this one, very bitter, and that's reflected by the, let's say 35 IBUs compared to 19. So it's twice as many IBUs. And I don't know if twice as many IBUs means it's twice as bitter. I don't know if it's a linear relationship. Could be logarithmic. Who knows? Let's see. Pabst is the lightest and easiest drinking beer of the three, with a very mild hop profile and minimal bitterness. And I would agree with that. Its ideal for casual drinking, has a reputation for being a session beer due to its smoothness and affordability. Well, I'm not sure what a session beer is. I guess if you're having a jam session and making music with a bunch of friends, you want to get some Pabst. I don't know, what kind of sessions are we talking about? Maybe an orgy. That's a session, isn't it? Well, let's see. What do we say here about the beer Forst? It's a solid lager, refreshing, moderate ABV, clean, crisp finish. I would agree with that. It has more hop character than PBR. I would agree with that. But still quite light and easy to drink. I would agree with that too. It's good beer. I like it. And yet I chose Birra Moretti over this, and I chose Pabst over Birra Moretti. And then this I'm choosing over Pabst. Because there is that sawdusty taste that I was expecting from a adjunct lager. That sawdusty finish. So what do we have to say about Jester King from Austin, Texas? All right, it stands out with the highest ABV, of course. More hop bitterness, definitely. A craft-oriented profile that emphasizes herbal and floral hops with a smooth malt backbone. There's that word again, floral. So I don't know if I would call it floral unless lemongrass is floral. It's much more complex and richer than the other two, making it suitable for craft beer lovers. Yeah, you have to prefer that citrusiness or that lemongrassiness. That's the word that I would describe instead of floral. I definitely don't think I would call it herbal. Well, I don't know. Depends on what types of herbs we're talking about. Now, it's not the bitterness that's the problem for me. I don't have a problem with the bitterness itself. But I'm going to rank these in my order of preference. It's Birra Forst number 1, Pabst number 2, Jester King the 3rd. And the reason that Jester King gets the lowest ranking for me, even though it's rated the highest, is that lemongrassiness that it has to it is very kind of a citrusy, kind of lemony flavor. A little bit too much for a beer, in my opinion. So, Ooh, we got 15 minutes. All right. This video's been going on long enough. So there you have it. These 3 beers. Quite possibly a biased opinion here, because I didn't do this blindfolded. Although I would have known, if I did it blindfolded, I would have known that this is the Jester King, because I recognized that citrusy, that lemony grass flavor last time I compared this to another beer. Frankly, I don't think I would buy this again. Because it's just a little bit too much. Now, Forst, beer Forst, yeah, I would drink that. I'd even drink Pabst. And I said before that Pabst might become my go-to beer, but I don't know. It's cheap, and that's what I like about it most. Otherwise, it is drinkable too. But maybe it needs to be balanced out by a little bit of bitterness. There you go. So let's try a little bit of beer salad here. We'll see if we can cut down some of this lemongrassy flavor from the Jester King. Add some sweetness to it. Well, I can still detect the lemongrassiness. It's okay. I'm not sure if it's better than any of the other beers in the singular mode, but it's not bad. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe the maltiness of the other 2 beers kind of improved this a little bit. I don't know. All right. Enough is enough. I just want to still have some beer. This is about 50-50. I can mix these. Pabst and Jester King. Maybe less than 50-50, maybe slightly more than that. Maybe it's 55-45. It's good. Yes, that's better. You know, that's probably better than each of these 2 beers individually. I don't. Well, 18 minutes is enough. Thanks for watching.